the left has a habit of calling everything racist, like legitimately everything racist. There was a piece in the Washington Post today, an op-ed in the Washington Post today, calling the term Western civilization racist. Okay, because Steve King used it. Now, Steve King made an actual racist comment when he said that he didn't understand why white nationalism and white supremacy were bad terms. And then he said, and Western civilization, I don't understand why that's a bad term. Okay, Western civilization isn't a bad term. The other two are bad. Okay, that's obvious. But if you are now calling Western civilization racist, or if you're saying that the wall is inherently racist, or if you agree with the wall, you're a racist, or if you agree with Mitt Romney's tax policy, you're a racist, or Mitt Romney's a racist, or John McCain's a racist. Everybody, I cannot name a Republican presidential candidate of my lifetime who has not been called a racist by the left. There has not been one. They've all been called racist. Mitt Romney, the most milquetoast human being who has ever walked the earth. It was suggested by Joe Biden that he wanted to put black people back in chains. That's insane. Okay, so what the left does is they overly broadly apply the label racist. They say that racism isn't just discrimination on the basis of race, it's also a bunch of policy we don't like that has disparate impact. And then the right says, okay, well, if you're going to call everything racist, I'm not going to pay any attention to what you say. Right? And if you call something racist, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the person you're calling racist. And that sometimes leads the right to give the benefit of the doubt to people we shouldn't give the benefit of the doubt. Right? That would be the Steve King case. I'm guilty here. Right? Steve King, for years, was saying stuff that was extremely borderline. It could be interpreted one of two ways. And because it could be interpreted one of two ways, I said, well, I think that I'm going to interpret it the innocuous way because I don't see full evidence yet that the guy's an actual racist. And then the minute that he revealed that he was a full racist, I said, okay, well, out he goes. Right now, we have to do something about this. Should I have been more on my guard about Steve King? Yes, I probably should have. But one of the ways that I will be more on my guard is if the fire alarm isn't constantly going off. You know what happens when your smoke alarm constantly goes off in your kitchen? You take the battery out. Okay, and that's what's happened here, is the left is constantly going off about racism, and so the right takes the battery out. Well, the solution is not to do that. It's to take the battery out and then replace it with a new battery. And that's what we all should be working on. That's the way we come to an actual middle ground. But that's going to require the left to stop labeling everything racist in the first place. Because the other problem here is that if you have an honest disagreement about whether something is racist or not, if, for example, you don't think that Mitt Romney wants to put black people back in chains, or if, for example, you think that the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri was not a racially based shooting, then the left will suggest that you are a racist, which is a lie. So you have to be very careful here. The left has gone off its nut in calling things racist, and the right has been reactionary in its response. Neither of those two things are good. But to suggest that Americans broadly are racist is to cut against available evidence on pretty much every score.